Good afternoon, everybody. It's Brian. Wanted to share with you guys a little success story. So this morning I had a meeting with Thomas that's on our team talking about listings and how are we going to go approach listings and how can we gain listings. So most of you are using the Listings to Leads platform. One of the things that you can do in Listings to Leads is market a property that is either under contract or just sold. So last week we closed 47 Trellis Court, popular property with us. We generated 114 leads on this property and probably closed 3 or 4 transactions because of it. What I want to share with you though is that after that meeting this morning, I ran a just sold ad marketing the fact that we had just sold this property, and within about 30 minutes I got my first lead. And the lead went into my database and they got a text message that just simply said, "Hey, thanks for inquiring about the home in Conroe. What has you thinking about moving?" That led to additional text conversation and booked a 4 o'clock appointment to call the gentleman. And at 4 o'clock, Thomas and I called the guy and set up basically a $400,000 listing appointment along with probably a $450,000 purchase. So, and just wanted to share that. This ad cost me $4 today, and I got $850,000 in volume. So implement it, be proactive, and go get you some listings. Talk to you soon.
That was cool. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, how y'all doing? Sorry, I just came back from a Michael Hullickson Club Wealth event, and he was saying that FSBOs, expireds, and open houses are the top 3 ways to get business, next to your SOI, of course, and cold calling. Cold calling isn't that much fun. Your SOI, obviously, we want to make sure that we're always hitting that. But yeah, in this call, we're going to talk about expireds. And I showed him our booklet, and he immediately set up a meeting with us because he wants to have us talk to his people about what we're doing with expireds. He was so excited about what he saw.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the call. And let's talk about expired marketing. You may know this. We've been running this program for, what is it, about 2 months now, Scott? Almost 3?
No, 5 weeks.
It's only okay. It feels like it's 2 months. Okay.
October 26th, a month and a half.
Okay. Yeah. And so right away, just to get the conversation started, everybody, if you look at our homepage, we have 3 agents who are using our expired marketing, and their stories are right here. This young lady, JJ, has been using, she's basically finding expireds that are in her MLS, calling them, they're not answering, texting them, and then she creates a unique listing presentation inside the platform. We'll show you how to do that a little bit later. And she has generated 4 listings in 6 weeks. So that's an awesome story. But there's actually a couple more right here. There's John Summers, he's actually a new agent. JJ up there is a newer agent as well. And I think he's been working with this for a few weeks as well. And Scott, I noticed, I think last night, that he actually probably has 3 or 4 listings from the original calls that he was making. So he likes to call. He likes to delay. Go ahead.
Yeah, he just signed a $925,000 listing.
Yeah. And, his story, when you hear it, he basically was calling expireds and he'd wait a few months. Then he'd reach out to him with a very simple, straightforward phone call, just asking to introduce himself and to show him how and to drop this off. So this is part of the expired marketing strategy. Is we have some print pamphlets, magazines available. They're high quality. You're branded on every page. And he wanted to introduce himself, shake hands, and drop that off. But that ended up, I know, in one of those original calls, turned into a 1-hour meeting. They're like, "Please come in and tell us what you're doing here." And so the expired listing presentation is just super awesome. And you need to use that. And then if we look over here at Scott Murray, this gentleman likes to door knock. I think she likes to leave messages and then text them the listing presentation. John over here likes to call and then follow up and meet them. But Scott here just likes to just straight door knock. And he has got a really good approach to the homeowners and just gets a conversation going. And this is, Scott, what'd you say? He has like a whole added a whole bunch to his pipeline just in just a matter of
Well,
weeks.
he $32 million in sales last year, and he put 2.7 million in the pipeline in 3 days.
Yeah.
And I asked him specifically, I said, Scott, I thought it was like 2 million. And he goes, no, he goes, it was 2.7 million in 3 days in about 3 hours worth of work.
Yeah. And he says it's funny. He says it's not really the most efficient to door knock, but honestly, in 3 days to get what? Almost 3 million in production. I think that's good efficiency.
Yeah. And from a
So
guy who's a professional, this guy knows what he's doing. He knows his numbers. And so for him to say 2.7 million is 2.7 million.
yeah. So when we get into the system, when you log in, there should be a jump page. And I logged in earlier, so it disappeared. And that will get you to the live classes. So Scott's doing 2 live trainings. And if you click this bell over here, the announcements, you can sign up for those. And I don't think you have to hit every one every day because there's 2 a day, 5 days a week. But definitely get over there and sign up because that's where everybody's working with each other to see what's going on, how to do this, how to unpack this, and how to build it into your business. And there's one other page that I want to show to everybody. And Scott, I saw a message today in StreamYard that clickable links are not, you have to change your account or something like that. So I don't know if we can share this right now, but we do have it in the mastermind group. And this is where you can order the pamphlet. So there's a little bit of a process where we want to send you what it's going to look like in the mock-up. And then once you're fine with that, you can order either expanded covers or just standard listing presentation and for cancels and FSBOs. You can order them down here. So that's actually inside our major mastermind group. But also one thing I wanted to say, and when on the jump page, when you log in, there is going to be a link to join this group, right? And this is the working group inside of Facebook where all of the agents who are trying to unmaster expired marketing, it's all happening right here. So we've got some really great resources. Obviously, this call, we're going to go into a lot of it, but right here is where people are interacting with each other and finding out, here's how I'm doing it, and asking questions, and everybody's sharing what's going on. So definitely get in here. And when you log in, those things will be right on the jump page as you log in. Scott, what did you want to say there? I know at this point, I think we got to start talking about nuts and bolts.
Yeah, no, let's get at it. What I would say is, are you logged into my account?
I am, yeah.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah, who here is going after expireds? Has anybody here closed any expireds? Have you gone after expireds in your past, either with listings to leads or through another program? Because there's a lot of people out there that talk about expireds, calling, right? So there's some coaches and trainers, like they focus on call. Others focus on sending things in the mail. We take a bit of an all of the above approach, and you don't have to wait months and months to get results with what we're going to be talking about today. And it's so simple that people will love to overcomplicate it, but you could literally start getting listings both from your database and from expireds in the next week or two. Like literally getting listings in the next week or two, and at a minimum, building up your pipeline very fast.
Yeah. Let's talk about, I think before we go into actually creating this, I want to start it by, if you go to your listings page, you will notice that there's a listing presentation tab. And I think a lot of agents really hadn't even noticed that. There is a print version, but we launched this flipbook version earlier this year, and it's really a lot of what's going on is based on this. So this is a generic one that you have, and it's very compelling. And if you listen to those calls that are on our homepage there, or you watch them over on YouTube, you'll notice that as agents go through this, they are getting a buy-in. And so if you're talking to an expired homeowner, obviously they still want to sell their home, and it just didn't happen for one reason or another. So here you can talk about, here's how I do it. I do paid ads on Facebook and Instagram. I have social media marketing, YouTube, print. This is all what listings to leads does for you, right? It doesn't talk about listings to leads. It's you and your logo there. And it sells itself. And so this is already sitting in your account. But that actually, when we take the print version, which I'm holding here in my hand, it's this version, right? It will have a different cover. If you can see here, this one is actually for expireds. So you can print these off And as you're meeting those homeowners, you've got something that really speaks to them and shows them why you're able to sell the home better than every other agent. And so that's in there. And when you look at that, where our clients are taking it now, and I think why people like JJ are able to get so many listings is they're creating listing presentations for an actual expired. So here we have one here on Whitney Lane, right? And if I click that, you'll notice that the marketing button was grayed out. So you can't actually market, but really you can create a listing in your account for an expired. So let's say you made a few phone calls, you found them, and they want to talk to you and hear about it. You can actually go create a listing. It's got their contact information, it's got their address, and you add one photograph. Okay. And once you've done that, you will be able to generate a flipbook listing presentation. And this is what you take. And so now when you're going to go meet those people, let's say you have your laptop open and you're going to meet them, or you have an iPad, you can just flow through this. This is like an online magazine. But now this is showing their home and how you're going to market their home on places like Facebook and on social media and YouTube. And this, I think it's unstoppable. This is what's really closing it for people. Yes, you got to choose the right people. You got to wait a little bit. You don't want to call them day one because they're getting harassed by dozens of realtors at that point. You want to wait a couple months. And I think the agents on our homepage will say they'll wait 2 months or 3 months. Scott, do you have anything? Are you hearing differently on that?
No, I tell people, hey, take a look at what's expiring today because there may be something that is you might consider a premier listing, a luxury listing. And while everybody else is calling, like what Vince said, right, you always feel sorry for those people on day one because they're going to get bombarded by people. You can do an end round. And I'm telling you, like what Scott Murray did, Gwen Dorsey, right? She just got a listing because she prepared this for the property. So what I'm thinking is if you got a really good listing that just expired today, I would add that listing to your account as status expired, and I would go door knock it. Just you can print it up at home. This is a copy I printed up off a $50 thermal binder. So I printed it on my laser printer at my home. I have a $58 thermal binder, and I would go door knock that property and impress the heck out of them.
Yeah, while Scott was saying that, I was walking through it. So I'm going to back up just so that you understand to create that listing. So like Scott's saying, everybody's going to be calling that really great listing, but you can, while that's happening, you can go to your listings page, click add listing, click manual, and all you need to do is change that to expired, put their name in there, put the address in there, add one photograph, and it will be generating that print version and also the flipbook version. And I think that's great to go right out and just meet those people. And you don't have to even door knock. You could even leave it on put it in a nice envelope and it's there for them. But this is just really, Scott, do you remember somebody was telling us that when she called and expired, that the person said, I've already had the exact same phone call 4 times today, like the same message.
Yeah, because I listened to a lot of coaching videos on YouTube and everything. And one of the calls was, the guy said, he goes, I called the expired, and he was like, this is the 3rd time I've heard that exact same script. It just wasn't really happy about being called 15 to 20 times on just the day that their home expired between 8 and 8:15 in the morning. It's just absolutely annoying for a lot of these homeowners, and I feel bad for them.
And I want to say, so what I just shown you is how to create a unique listing, right? And to get that flip book. And just to go back to the story on our homepage with JJ here, she was calling these people. They would not answer. She would then text them and say, would you like to see my listing presentation? And they might not answer. And then she would just create the unique flipbook listing presentation and text it to them, just like this. Like she would just grab the web address up here and text it to them. That generated 4 listings in 6 weeks. And obviously they would respond and she would go meet them in a coffee shop or meet them wherever they wanted to meet. And that started the conversation. And that's really what you need. These people want to sell their home. This is just a compelling story to help you convey how you can help them. And no agents have this. right? Another great thing, if you look at the back, your reviews are here. There's also some relevant PDF guides. These are all branded to you on every page. So there's a lot of value in this. You definitely want to use it. And I know, Scott, you were saying, because you were with Club Wealth, expired is going to be a major part of everybody's business. And with our platform, you really have a solution to approach those and really pick up a lot of listings, right?
Yeah, if you got a, for example, you may have you may be a Club Wealth, or you may have another coach, another whatever it is, and you got a script for the phone calls. Great, go ahead and do it. You got a script for postcards, whatever it is. Great, go ahead and do it. Nothing is going to separate you from the pack as these presentations. Whether you send it to them via text, you send it to them via email, which is absolutely free and easy to do, and we recommend that you do that as well. When you put that in their hands, again, whether it's on their phone, their email, or hard copy in person, you are going to be the person that has added the most value to that whole process versus everybody else, right? There are people that do mailers, and they will tell you it can take 4 to 6 months, excuse me, before they get a return on that, right? Who wants to wait 4 to 6 months writing their arm off for 2 to 3 hours a day? There's not many people that want to do that. I want to get listings in the next week or two, and this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah. And Scott, to speak to that, there's a guy in here, and I know that you're in communication with him, but Mahmood, he's been on a lot of our calls.
Oh, yeah.
With expires. And he's just going to town here, right? He's just every day out there using this. It's inside inside this expired group. And you'll see that
expireds and FSBOs both, actually. So he approaches both. He's got a builder dialed in. He's got an investor dialed in. He's got probably 3 to 4 listings minimum. And I know he's got like more than that in the pipeline. And all he's doing is he ordered the booklets from us. He went to the link, ordered the setup, ordered the booklets. He's ordered like now 70 booklets, I think, in total in the last 4 weeks. And his goal, like I tell everybody, is to get rid of them. Your goal is to get rid of them, because the more people that get these are going to be more listings that you're going to be getting. And of course, you're still going to follow up like normal. These are a magic bullet, but they're still, obviously, you're going to follow up with them. In fact, who was it? John Summers, right? He did the phone call. He did the meeting. They couldn't really agree on the price. The homeowner still wanted too high of a price. So what John Summers did is every week he would follow up. He would send some information about the market, what was selling, the price that it sold, compared it to his home. And over the course of about 2 weeks, he was able to get that seller to go, you know what? You're right. You got an amazing marketing program. I can see that you know what you're doing. You've shown me the pricing and where I was wrong. And now he's got a $925,000 listing from the very first day he started with us, which is amazing.
Right, because that lead was one of the first 5, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He came up and he said, hey, I reached out to 5. And so, John, if you go look at our website, he got the system and he reached out to the first 5. And he had a great conversation, I think, on day 1. It turned into like a 1-hour conversation. They invited him in, right?
Yeah.
One of the leads that just closed was from that original 5. Talk about conversion percentage.
20% conversion, not bad.
Right, because online lead conversion is 1% on average. And we're not talking about taking 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years to convert. Maybe it was a couple weeks for this last one, but that's a 20% conversion. And that's why you really need to look at what's going on with expireds, figure out how you want to approach them, and leverage these tools, because they're all designed for you inside the system.
Yeah. And Scott Murray's at, I think, a 30% conversion.
Yeah, he's confident, and you can tell from his call, like he definitely knows how to engage a person at the door.
Yeah, John Summers is literally under a year. In fact, July 2025.
Yeah.
Or 2024, like maybe a year in the real estate business. Scott Murray's been in the business for a while. Again, a $32 million producer last year. But it doesn't matter whether you're brand new or experienced. You're going to be able to implement this and put this into whatever processes you're already doing, and likely improve on some of them, so that, you know, all the great experience you've got, phenomenal. All the great experience you don't have, it doesn't matter. Start taking this, putting it into your business, and literally start getting listings in the next few weeks. You'll be absolutely shocked.
Yeah, Judith's asking, and I'm going to try and share this link right now. This is the mastermind group for working expireds.
Yeah, and
So
Judith, when you log into your account, you're going to see a pop-up and there's a link right to it.
yes, yeah, right when you come in the homepage, it's going to be right in front of you. And so just click on there and get in there. I don't know if that link is clickable. Yeah, I don't know, because I saw something from StreamYard that they said
No, it is clickable. Yep.
it is.
It is.
Okay, cool.
There's actually, it pops in 2 or 3 times, but if you're on StreamYard, it is clickable. If you're on YouTube, it may not be. But again, if you're on StreamYard, that is a clickable link. And if not, get with our support team. If you're a client, get with support, get into the main mastermind group. We'll get it to you.
Mm-hmm. Charles is asking a question, Scott. I think that it's a good one.
Yeah, when you're walking around with expired listings and you create a listing in the system, how long do you keep the listing in the system so you don't end up with Charles? Actually, we got people that do have 200 to 300 of these in their account. Absolutely crazy, which is a little bit nuts. But it just depends. For example, if I'm going to add an expired listing and call, I text, I door knock, and I follow up, if they say they're not interested, I see they relist, whatever it is, but I would probably leave it in there for a while. At the same time, what you can do is bookmark your regular listings. So if you got a listing that's under your name and then you have an open house and you got a pending listing that you're marketing, you can bookmark those listings so they stay at the top and let those expireds fall to the bottom. And you can also, there's a drop-down Vince if you want to show where it says display by status, which is also useful.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
So that if you have a bunch of listings, this is just help you get to those quickly.
Yeah.
I did
and
bookmark
one of the things for everybody is, to Charles's point, keep your listing statuses up to date. The worst thing you can do within our program, there's a lot of worse things. Every time I change the status of my listing, it unlocks an entire new marketing campaign, an entire new set of marketing tools based on that status. So if you got listings that are sold that are in your listings leads account, mark it as sold. Even if it was from 2 months ago, you can still do some marketing around it. But when a listing goes into contract, when a listing closes escrow, the quicker you change that status to reflect that new status, all right, the better you're going to do. There are free ways to generate leads. There are paid ways to generate leads. But to sit there with a bunch of listings in your account that are completely out of sync for their actual status it's a shame. That's not what you want to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give that link for her.
Okay. Back to the story of like the listing presentation and expires. I do want to remind everybody that we have clients picking up FSBOs this way. We have a client over in Florida, John Proby. He picked up one of his first listings over $1 million in Florida that was canceled. He saw it canceled in the MLS and he was like, wow, I really would love to pick that up. So he called the person and said, hey, I see that your home came off the market. What happened? And he said, I was working with this agent from this other company. He didn't do anything. He wasn't doing anything. And I just pulled it. And he said, I have a really awesome marketing platform. Can I meet you and show you? And so he created a listing presentation, just like I showed you for him. That ended up getting 2 listings from that gentleman. He owned 2 homes, the one that was canceled and another one that he wanted to sell. So
and the one that canceled was $1.7 million. It was his highest listing ever, waterfront luxury property.
Yeah.
That he used this presentation and he competed against Sotheby's and Douglas Elliman agents for the relist, and he beat them both. And he's just an independent broker agent.
Yeah. So he came from a smaller brokerage. So he's totally doing that. And I just want to make sure everybody's aware. There's a lot. And Scott, I want you to talk about something that you mentioned yesterday. There are a lot of ways of getting seller leads with us, right? There are nearby homeowner letters. You can mail just sold postcards. You could even run sold ads. So when you start getting seller leads, this could really shorten your conversion. Create this and send it out to them. But Scott, you mentioned something I heard a day or 2 ago, which was like somebody is taking the listing presentation and blasting their seller leads in their CRM and has 17 conversations.
Yeah, and in fact, if you go to the dashboard real quickly, because everybody here really needs to get this email out the door today. So pay attention. If you got your account open right now, go ahead and do it with us. But Vince, just go ahead and scroll down to the database email. So one of our clients, and this is where I got this is where this email came from. She sent the link to the listing presentation to 173 seller leads in her database, created 17 conversations, and got a listing in 7 to 10 days. And so the third email down there, it's called Thinking of Selling After the Holidays. Read this. So go ahead and click on the subject line. Yeah. So for all of you in your accounts, you can send this through Listings to Leads. I've already sent it, so I can't really send it anymore. But you can send it through Listings to Leads to all of your seller leads. Or Vince, click on the preview tab. Just copy it into your CRM. Just copy and paste it into your CRM. So just click in there and do Command A, Command C to copy it, and then drop it into your CRM and send it out. But it's talking about the fact that a lot of homeowners are thinking about selling after the holidays are over with, which we know what's going to happen. Well, there's going to be a lot of competition to get homes sold because all these people are coming in after the holidays. And if they are serious about selling the property, and if they got the capability to do, it may be advantageous for them to sell before, at least list it before the holidays are over. But so anyway, so this email, then there's a link to the listing presentation automatically. So we took what one of our clients shared with us, 17 conversations out of 173 that got it. Dude, that's like a 10%. That is absolutely nuts. And then she got a listing within under 10 days from one of the people in her database that got this email. So not only does this just rock and roll for expireds, for canceleds, for FSBOs, but the sellers in your database, this is amazing for them as well.
Yeah. There was a question, so I want to show that one here. Robert's asking, how do we order the magazines? And we just shared, Robert, a link to this page right here.
Yeah.
So everybody should click that link, and you can order the setup here. So if you want expireds, or if you just want standard ones, or both, order those. And then there'll be a little bit of a back and forth of making sure that this looks right, so that this looks right for your market here. And then once you've approved that, you can go here and order it. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. And they are beautiful. I got a version that I printed at home, and then I got a version that is from the order. And oh my God, it looks like a magazine.
And exactly right. It's high quality. We get that from, what is it, Mailbox Power? It is a high quality piece. And so if you've really got a serious listing that you're thinking about, that's not something that's going to end up in the garbage. It's just not. So definitely use those. And I know if you go into this group and you listen to the other realtors who are working expired, they are getting these out in a volume every week. I can't remember, John Summers trying to do 10 a week. And know that it's like putting multiple fishing poles. They're going to start pulling. People look at it over the holidays. I'm pretty sure all these people are going to start having a ton of listings happening there early next year.
Oh yeah. I know John's got probably over $2 million in the pipeline as well.
Yeah. Which is awesome because he's a newer agent. He's from one of our large broker clients, but he's just been in it for 15 months as a realtor. These people on our homepage, JJ here, she's in a small office. I'm pretty sure she's going to be the top listing agent by the end of next year, if not by the middle of next year.
Can you imagine like a 21-year-old being a top listing agent?
Yeah. And John here, he's got 200 agents in his office. So he's going to be a top producer. I know because I talked to the manager over there. Yeah, we can all see that this guy is just taking off. So definitely use this, especially if you want listings. And I don't think we need to go around and around, but definitely,
Actually, I do want to talk about something. And Lori made a comment. And so she said, you can print these at home, correct? And so here's how I tell people to do this. When you got a listing presentation, you only need one copy. And Vince, go back into my dashboard again real quick. And so you want to be able to do both. You want to order from us because you can order 20, 30, 40 at a time and just have them sitting there so that when you identify and you find the new expired that you want to go after. And again, I can't remember, Vince, if you said this, but looking at the expireds that are 3, 4, 5, 6 months old, Scott Murray was targeting expireds between 6 and 9 months old that were still expired. John Summers was looking at expireds 2 months and older because these are people, they've not relisted. They likely still want to sell their home. And both of these guys are just crushing it with them. Now, go to my listings page. In my training, I talk about your A, your A expireds, your A leads, and then your B and C leads. For the A leads, these are going to be the higher end, the luxury, your premier listings. And click on like 843 Mezzanine Lane in Loomis, the status expired.
Oh, wait.
You know, you're in
Expired.
the right spot. Yeah, it's like the third or fourth one down there. I can't. It's hard for me to see because I'm looking at the stage.
Yeah, it says listing presentation. Let's see.
Perfect. So to Lori's question is, when you're going to create these presentation booklets for a specific property where the homeowner's name is on the cover, the address is on the cover, you're using a picture of their home and it's going to be on the cover all throughout the booklet, you're going to just need one of those copies. So you would print that at home. But if you want to try to print 30 of these at home and bind 30 of them, that's going to be probably a day or two job to get done. That's a lot of time, a lot of print. And you can actually order from us for about the same as it would cost you to print. Because if you print them, the ink on them alone is going to be $8 to $9 for most laser printers. And then you got to bind them, and they're not going to be this beautiful. They're not going to be this quality right here. All right. So here's one. I got an A lead. And if you can see it, that's the homeowner's name on the cover. That's his home address is on the cover. That's his home on the cover. And this is what I would print at home. All right. It may not be high quality as a magazine version, but it's got his name and his home all throughout it. So when he scans the QR code on page 14, 15, or 16, and he sees his home on his phone, it's going to blow him away. This is perfect for that application. But at the same time, Lori, you want to order 30 to 40 of these a month with the goal of getting rid of them. All right. Because again, you're not going to be able to print 30 or 40 of these a month. You could, but it's not going to be any cheaper than just ordering from us. And when you order from us, the quality is just top notch. Yeah, it literally looks like a magazine. Let's see, what does Charles said? When we get the expired from MyPlus leads and MyPlus update, they'll I believe Charles, but that would be a question for them. And I should know the answer. I just don't know off the top of my head. I think they do. But yeah, what I always do when you're in MyPlus leads, there's a link to Zillow at the property detail page for that expired. I always double check Zillow or your MLS because I want to make sure it wasn't sold, it wasn't relisted, right? And every so often in RedX, all these providers, you always want to double check in my mind. Jim says your print price is reasonable and 100%. How much per 30? I don't know. Let me see here. If I go to the order
30
page,
times 8.
no. 30 copies would be $279. So it gets a little bit cheaper as you go up. And don't order 10. All right. It's a waste of time. Your shipping is going to be too much. And it's just 10. Why? 20 minimum. I would say 30 again. If you door knock 30 of these a month, and like what Scott Murray did, he just said, and this is a great strategy, group your expireds together, have something else maybe that you're going to be doing in that area anyways. All right. So maybe you got a showing, you got a listing appointment, you're going grocery shopping and the store is over there, or whatever it is that you're doing. And just group 3 or 4 properties that you want to door knock and just go knock it out. Right. Just because I found the expired today, I don't have to door knock today. I always say call first, send a text if you're capable, if you're able to send a text, send an email. Always start out with that. And then if you don't get a hold of them, then door knock. All right. And just go from there with it. Yeah.
Since we're talking about MyPlus leads, Scott, you should tell them about this because we have our own affiliate link. But
put that in the chat.
I'm going to do it right now. So give them the story behind this because it's a compelling story.
So when you sign up for a free trial with MyPlus Lead, and if you've got RedX, awesome. But if you do not have a source for expired data and FSBO, sign up for a free trial. $70 is all you need. And here's the deal, though. You will only get, unless you do what I tell you, they will only give you 30 days of back data. You want more. So after you sign up on our affiliate link, you can let them know, hey, I'm with Listings to Leads. And Scott said to request or ask you to add in 6 months worth of expired and FSBO data. And that's the key, because I told John over there, I said, John, listen, 30 days is fine, but I'm training people to go back at least 2 to 3 months and then work backwards for all the expireds that are still not sold. And if my people are only going to get 30 days, it's worthless to me, right? Because I can't train on 30 days. And so John was nice enough to go, yeah, Scott, you know what? I want to support you guys. I see that you guys are having a lot of success. So he was kind enough to give us a 6 months worth of data, but you will have to ask for it. So sign up on the affiliate link if you don't have a source, and then just ask their support people.
And Rosanna there, she's comparing the two of Red X, and she's saying My Plus Lead's a lot better.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for letting us know. I appreciate that. Yeah. And Rosanna, did you get the 6 months worth of data? I haven't talked to anybody yet. I know people have signed up, but I've never asked about the 6 months. They said they would. I'm sure they are. So just make sure you take advantage. And if they don't, let me know. But they're good people. All right. I know John Pope over there. He's a good guy.
And I just want to say, because we're just focused here on expireds, and that's great because it's a major part. It should be a major part of your business. But don't forget that when you get these listings, get on our open house training call. Learn how to use our open house marketing system to get even more listings with your open house. It's a little more dynamic. It's a lot more involved in dropping in the time and date in your MLS and waiting for things to happen.
Most of this year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We just dropped something brand new into the system. Go to follow-ups. Vince doesn't even know about this yet.
I saw it. I don't know what it is. I saw it and I didn't know what it was. Yes.
Okay. So if you're on our Zoom calls that we do twice a day, although we didn't do it this morning because I was with Michael Hellickson. God, I can't see your screen. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can make it bigger. That new campaign called Expired.
Yeah, we're looking at it.
From December 10th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
No, December 10th.
This one is on. It says Whitney Hoax expired home.
No. All right. Hold no. Yeah, there you go. The 4 email campaign. No, the one above. Go up. One more. Yes. All right. So everybody, that just went live yesterday. Go ahead and click on it. What this is, and this is based on what JJ was doing, and I finally got my head out of my butt and realized, you know what? I can actually create this in the system. Go ahead and click see more under the first one. So what this is, and in fact, just go ahead and click on edit. So for everybody, if you get your account open, go ahead and do this with us. Click on edit and then click on the preview tab. It's right up. Yep, there you go. All right.
So that's there.
Yeah. So each one of these, there's 4 emails. JJ was only doing 2, and she was actually doing phone call, text, and email. All right. And trying to get these links in front of people. So I was like, why don't I just create this inside of your Listings to Leads account? And whether you take these and drop them in Gmail, you can drop them into Lofty, into Follow Up Boss, whatever email program that you're using. But it's now completely set up for you. All you got to do is copy and paste it and put it in there. If you want to swap it out with a link to their expired flip book or to something else, you can. But at least now you've got 4, and these are meant to be used as both text and emails. So you're going to notice all 4 of them are super, super short. And again, they would work as being sent as a text message, and they would work as being sent as a email. And so these are really going to be super powerful. You will probably, again, I would call, I would text, always make sure you're legally able to text and all that good stuff. I don't want you to get into trouble. And then email. All right. I would send these via email as well. And then I would call and I would say, hey, Rosanna, this is Scott with XYZ. I'm sorry. Call up and you say, hi, Rosanna. I sent my 100 plus point home marketing plan to you for your expired property. This is Scott with XYZ Realty. I would love to get any feedback on that when you have a chance. All right. So I don't introduce myself until after I say in the voicemail, or if I'm talking to them, that I just sent you via email or via text my 100 plus point home marketing plan to get your expired home sold. This is Scott with XYZ Realty, and they just want to get some feedback and see if you had a chance to take a look at it.
So, Scott, let me ask you this. I see what it is, and I think we all see it. But how does that get, if I turn it on, how does this start going to the lead?
It's not
What?
gonna. You're gonna have to put it in whatever email program that you're using. Yeah,
Okay.
because we don't let people
Yeah.
import leads at this point. We will probably do so at some point, but what you're going to want to do, just copy and paste. It'll literally take you a minute to do. And that's why the easiest thing to do is, so yeah, Vince, let's navigate back into here because a few people, they're watching but not paying attention, and now they're like, wait, what? How did you
We
get
go to
there?
follow
Click,
ups.
yeah, click on follow-ups. You'll land on the
And then
campaign page.
now I want to say this because this is just a big mess because Scott likes to, you will not have all these things. You'll have 5. You'll have 2
Yeah,
buyers. You'll have one
yeah,
buyer, one seller, one in Spanish and one for buyer and seller. And then you'll have just one expired. And it'll be this, right?
yeah, exactly. The other one was my practice one I did in my account. So what you're
Yeah.
going to do is exactly click on follow-up, click on the campaign that says for email campaign to engage expired homeowners. And then you'll see all the 4 headlines, and then click on the edit. So click on the edit and then click preview. And then from this view here, this will be the easiest for you to just Control A, Control C, drop it into Lofty, drop it into Follow Up Boss, drop it into Gmail, and just save it. And that way you got it. I
And what
like to
happens
copy and
if
paste.
they
I read what I'm sending. John,
what,
100%. Exactly.
what
Yeah.
happens if they just click this send test email?
You can do that too. Yeah. For 100%. You can send a test email and
Yeah.
then copy and paste it from your email. And I
Yeah.
always recommend send a test email, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. What's this, Charles? AI text?
I keep telling our team to put down, can you go to AI? Because AI text does not work for everything in the system yet at this point. Listings, home value, cash offer. In fact, John Summers, oh my God, John Summers again. All right. He had an open house in October, and he ran an ad through listings to leads.
Yeah.
The AI text connected and just got the conversation going for a while. And at some point, the AI text said, hey, would you like a list of, because leads don't respond a lot of times. And so you can go a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And at some point, the AI text offered a list of price reduced homes for sale. And the lead said yes. John called them up, found out a little bit more information about what do they want to make sure that it's a good list for them. And John just had a $500,000 offer accepted for that lead on a property. And he's going to end 2025 on with a nice commission check, hopefully, because it's expected to close on 12/30.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are we there yet we were talking about AI for mortgage for follow up?
I don't know, but I got a mortgage call in a couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we got so much stuff in our pipeline for what we're adding into the system. And to the point, Judith just says, hey, so I've been with L to L for, I don't remember. Yeah, over a decade, Judith. I know you bet us don't even know. Do you have an intro video tutorial about all what L to L has? I need to do better. We need to do better on that. We are getting so close, right? Vince and I have been stressing and bitching and complaining about our new system. We've rebuilt listings to leads from the ground up, whole new development team, all new servers, all new everything. And it was expected to go live in October, then November. We're getting close. We're dotting a lot of the I's, crossing the T's, getting the little things done. And we're going to be allowing people that want to move over to that new system maybe the next week or two. Vince, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say probably we're going to go live on Monday. We're going to put new agents in, new clients in there, but that'll get us through December. I think because we're going to need December to make sure everything is buttoned up right and the new agents are experiencing the way that we want them to experience it. And at that point, we're going to start, I would say after Christmas, or maybe like right after Christmas, because it's a little bit quieter, start to transition everybody into the new platform. It is faster. It's going to be more, we've done this over 16 years, what we're looking at right now. So it's going to be a lot more uniform in the new platform. It's going to be easier for you to use. And like Scott was saying, we'll be able to add more quicker to the platform on the new system.
Oh yeah, because we got like TikTok integration, we've got Instagram Reels, YouTube ads we want to do. Oh my God, editing for the PDF guides to allow for that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we want to do. Yep.
Any other questions? We don't want to keep you. Get on our training calls. I will say this. Let's see here. Let's see. Don't forget to get in this expired mastermind group. The link is here. Let me know if everybody has this, because everybody is working in this section here. And don't forget that Scott's doing 2 live trainings at least through February. And I'm imagining after February, we've got to start transitioning into really helping everybody understand open houses, because open houses and expired marketing are going to be a top way for you to get listings in 2026.
I kind of see
get in these things.
Well, I see it working together in this to the point of, okay, going after the expireds, that's the quickest way to get listings, the easiest, the quickest, flip them into, and then you do open houses. And then when you're doing the open houses, right, you got the nearby homeowner letter, you got the tools for the seller to share, and you got the tools from listings to leads to engage homeowners that are coming through the open house. So it's going to be a very virtuous cycle where I get expireds, I do open houses, I get homeowners coming to the open houses, I get more listings because I've got, whether it's, let me see here.
For example, this is being recorded, Mahmoud. Yeah.
So whether you got your print flyers that are engaging homeowners, you got your 100-point home marketing plan video playing on a laptop or the TV. You got all these great tools, obviously to engage buyers, but also to engage sellers. So yeah, this is going to be a really beautiful virtuous cycle for people that get into it, where you got complete regularity with listings. That's what we want. I don't want to have to do 20 million things to get listings, right? I don't want to have to learn a brand new skill every 3 weeks because something changed. This is just repeatable, it's scalable, and it's not rocket science. And Mohammed, dude, so I can't believe you're on the call. Awesome. So, dude, I was talking to Carrie Thompson about you
to
the
show
other
you
day.
this. Are we, Scott? What was Carrie saying?
I want to ask Mohammed, dude, what's your pipeline look like? I was just mentioning you. I don't know if you heard me. I was referring to you. I may not have mentioned your name, but Mohammed, who's on the call with us here out of Southeast Michigan, my old stomping ground. Dude, I got to think you got at least a couple of million in the pipeline. This is the guy. So you see this guy commenting, Mohammed Gazma. This guy is awesome. And if you get into our challenge, the group right here, you search his name. He's very inspirational in the action that he's taken. He's talking to FSBOs, expireds, investors, builders, new construction. He's talking to everybody. It's awesome. I love it.
Well, the great thing about it is we have tools to help you engage all those kinds of people. I think, Scott, your voice was cutting out there for a moment there. And when you were talking about work expireds and work open houses, it just becomes a scalable system.
Yeah.
It's all right here in the platform. And I want to remind everybody that we are doing training calls 5 days a week on various aspects. But one of those things that you need to get your arms around is open house marketing, because it's been for most of this year, 2025, the top way of getting listings. And I know you were just with Club Wealth, and they just said that's one of their top things for 2026. It's hand to hand. When we talk listings to leads, we've been here for 16 years because we know how to capture leads. We know how to help agents capture leads. But I can tell you, everybody gets excited about capturing leads. Nobody is excited about converting leads, because that could take you 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years. But when you're working open houses and when you're working expireds, you are just condensing that time, and people are having rock solid conversations in 1 hour. And so Mahmoud's saying he's on his way to drop 4 booklets off right now.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, we've had people get listing appointments from an open house because first you invite the neighbors, then you set up the open house. And Vince, the last thing here before we get ready to tap out, in listings to leads, click on marketing calendar presentations and open house presentation. And it was funny because Michael was saying a few tips about open houses. And I'm like, dude, all of that thing that he was saying is in our open house presentation. For example, making sure you pick the right property to hold open if you can. So there's a presentation right here. If there are any trainers, coaches, brokers, or lenders on the call with us, this presentation is phenomenal to train on. If you're an agent, obviously you want to go through this as well, because this will walk you through. This is not how to market the open house. It's really how to select the open house and how to host it so that you are going to get buyers and sellers from that open house. Yeah, this is a really good and then obviously you got to make sure join one of our open house trainings we do every 2 weeks. I would try to make sure you get on one of our open house webinars every couple of 3 months, so that because again, you're not going to be able to learn all of this in a week or two. You want to just get a little bit better for every open house, because with the 100-point home marketing plan video, I would recommend that you keep one of these listing presentations at the open house. So when the homeowners are walking through, the neighbors are walking through your open house, they will literally pick it up and they will start flipping through it. And they may even just ask you, or you can just ask them, "Hey, what'd you think about that presentation there that you're looking at?" Right? And they're going to be like, "Man, this is crazy. This is really good." And people have gotten listing appointments right at the open house because people have seen this kind of material from listings to leads. So yeah, go through this presentation when you have a chance. Not Vince right now, but for all of you on this call here. Yeah. Well, so what is latest? I just closed on a property as a buyer's agent. Oh yeah. Later, I would send out a letter. So for example, add that property to your listings to leads account and add it as, so Vince, yeah, go to manual. So you have to do this here and select just sold selling agent. Okay. Now in my account, and then you just add all the information, take one photo of the property. Don't take the listing agent's photos. We don't want to do that. Just go grab a photo of the property. And then Vince, now go to my listing. I've got a listing that's just sold selling agent on the main dashboard. And then you can do a couple of things. You can do a Facebook ad and you can do the nearby homeowner letter. I would send the e-flyer and the social media post to the buyer, because the language around all of that will change a little bit. And what you can do, so yeah, go ahead and click on Facebook ad first, and I'll just be real quick on two things. So in the Facebook ad, and what is that? Vince, is there a black thing on your screen that you can close? I see
Yeah. I've got a call in 4 minutes, so I'm gonna have to jump in 3.
Oh yeah. And later you can get into the mastermind group and I can discuss more. But so in the just sold, you can talk about, hey, another property just sold. And if you're thinking about selling, we have a 100+ point home marketing plan. So you can edit the text that's in that video. And then last, real quickly here, nearby homeowner letter. You can edit the nearby homeowner letter to say, I was a selling agent for 123 Main Street, and we got more buyers for looking at a home in your area. And that nearby homeowner letter, so again, it sits in the editor, and so all of that text can be edited. And so I would edit it the top a little bit to mention we just sold 123 Main, because you're the selling agent. We just sold 123 Main Street to great new buyers that are looking forward to be in the area. And we got 46 more buyers that are looking for a home in the area. If you're thinking about selling, in fact, we got a Canva link. In fact, Leda, if you're a client of ours, I will mock up a letter for you that takes advantage of this and being the selling agent. Yeah, that's actually, I like that idea. All right. Can you show again where we ordered the expired booklets? Rick, get into the mastermind group. I'll post it there.
I also just posted it just now, Rick. So you can see a link there.
Yeah.
You can click on it.
Vince has to go, so we're going to be out of time here in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for being here, everybody. Get involved, get on our live training. And if you get into your account and you go to the resources, you can go to our YouTube channel And there are classes right now recorded on Open House Marketing and on Expired. So if there's something that you missed or you want to, this class is actually being recorded and it'll be there a little bit later. So when you go to resources and you go to YouTube, that's going to take you there and you can see everything that you need to get into. Thanks, everybody. Sorry, guys, I got to go. I got another call booked.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Scott, you got this?
Nope. We're out of here. Talk to you all later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy the holiday.